The Lantern of Hope, Arjun's journey through fear. In the heart of a secluded valley, nestled far away from the relentless hum of modern cities, lay a small, forgotten village. In this village lived a young boy named Arjun. To anyone passing by, Arjun seemed like an ordinary boy, but inside him, a storm was constantly brewing. He possessed a mind full of vivid, magnificent dreams, yet he was paralyzed by an extraordinary, suffocating fear. This wasn't just a fear of the dark, it was the fear of failure, the paralyzing weight of other people's opinions, and a terrifying dread of taking the very first step toward his destiny. Every single morning, Arjun would stand at the edge of the village, watching his peers pack their bags and head toward the horizon to chase their ambitions. He watched them leave with a heavy heart, staying behind not because he lacked a vision, but because he lacked the courage to believe in himself. He would often whisper to his own shadow, "Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not talented or strong enough to survive out there." Slowly, this fear became his comfort zone, a cage made of invisible bars that felt safer than the uncertainty of the world outside. One humid evening, while sitting in solitude under the twisted branches of an ancient banyan tree, he noticed a flicker of light approaching. An old man, known for his wisdom, was walking slowly through the dusk. In his weathered hand he carried a tiny, flickering lantern. The light it emitted was fragile, yet it had a strange power to push back the encroaching darkness. Arjun, puzzled, called out to him, "Old man, why do you carry a lantern when the moon is shining so brightly above us?" The old man paused, his eyes twinkling with a kind of ancient knowledge. He smiled and replied, "Child, the moon is magnificent, but when the clouds decide to cover it, even the smallest light becomes the most important thing in the world. Its value is not in its size, but in its presence." He then looked deep into Arjun's soul and asked, "What is it that you truly want from this life?" Arjun hesitated, his voice trembling as he finally admitted his secret desire to be more than just a villager waiting for time to pass. He confessed his terror of trying and failing. The old man nodded slowly, and said words that would echo in Arjun's heart for decades. "Fear does not mean you are weak, Arjun. Fear is simply proof that your dream matters. If it didn't scare you, it wouldn't be big enough." That night, sleep was a stranger to Arjun. The old man's words, "Even a small light matters," played on a loop in his mind. The next morning, instead of trying to map out his entire future or plan a grand escape, Arjun decided to do something different. He decided to take just one tiny, microscopic step. He didn't have expensive tools or mentors. He started with what he had: tattered old books, free resources from the village library, and hours of relentless practice. The villagers laughed. They pointed and whispered that he was wasting his youth on fantasies. In the past, those whispers would have crushed him, but now, he simply looked at his symbolic lantern. He realized he didn't need to see the whole road to the city. He only needed enough light to see where to put his foot for the next step. Years passed. The journey was not a straight line to success. Arjun failed, not once but hundreds of times. He faced cold rejections, moments of agonizing self-doubt and physical exhaustion that made him want to collapse into the dust. There were nights when the darkness felt too heavy, and he almost convinced himself to quit. But every time fear returned, he reminded himself that confidence doesn't start the journey creates the confidence. Slowly, almost invisibly, his skills sharpened, his voice grew steadier, and the fear that once felt like a mountain began to look like a small pebble. One day, a rare opportunity knocked on his door, a chance to showcase his work to the world. He wasn't chosen because he was lucky, he was chosen because he had spent years in the dark, tending to his small light until it was ready to blaze. Decades later, a man of great stature and confidence returned to that same quiet village. It was Arjun. He walked back to the old banyan tree, hoping to find the old man, but the man was long gone. Instead of leaving a monument for himself, Arjun placed a sturdy, glowing lantern on a stone beneath the tree. He left it there for the next dreamer who might be sitting in the dark, afraid to move. He had finally understood the ultimate truth: you don't wait for the fear to vanish before you start. You start while you are afraid, and you watch the fear vanish as you walk through it. Your background doesn't dictate your destination, and your fear doesn't define your limits. All you ever need is the courage to light that first, small flame. Would you like me to create a professional voiceover script or an image prompt based on this long version?